Good morning. I am Dr. S. Muthukumaran, Assistant Professor, PG and Research, Department of Computer Science, St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Cuddalore 1. In this presentation, we are going to discuss about what is thread, overview of thread and its methods, advantages of thread, life cycle of a thread and thread its status. What is thread? Thread is a single sequential flow of control. A thread is a sequence of execution within a program. In modern operating systems such as Windows, enables us to manage multiple processes on a computer. Each of these processes run its own address space and each of them can be independently scheduled for execution. Just like the operating system, Java enables us to describe within a Java program two or more lightweight tasks which can be carried out at the same time. In this presentation, we are discuss about how can implement such a task using threads. That's why a thread is a lightweight subprocess, the smallest unit of processing. It separates the path of execution. Java provides built-in support for multi-threaded programming. A multi-threaded program contains two or more parts that can run concurrently. Each part of such a program is called a thread, and each thread defines a separate path of execution. Thus, multi-threading is a specialized form of multitasking. Multi-threading enables you to write very efficient programs that make maximum use of the CPU because idle time can be kept to a minimum. This is especially important for the interactive networked environment in which Java operates because idle time is common. A program can be divided into number of small processes. Each small process can be addressed as a single thread, which means a lightweight process can be determined. Multi-threaded programs contain two or more threads that can be run concurrently. This means that a single program can perform two or more tasks simultaneously. For example, one thread is writing content on a file. At the same time, another thread is performing spell checking. In this diagram, we can represent a thread is executed inside the process. There is context switch between the threads. There can be multiple processes inside the operating system, and the one process can have multiple threads. That's why threads are independent. If there occurs exception in one thread, it does not affect other threads. It uses a shared memory area. Java thread methods. Start method. This method is used to start the execution of the thread. Run method. This method is used to do an action for a thread. Sleep method. This method sleeps a thread for the specified amount of a time. Join method. It waits for a thread to die. Get priority method. It returns the priority of the thread. Get name method. This method returns the name of the thread. Is alive method. Determines if a thread is still running. Yield method. This method causes the currently executing thread object to pass and allow other threads to execute temporarily. Suspend method. This method is used to suspend the thread. Resume method. This method is used to resume the suspend thread. Stop method. This method is used to stop the thread. Advantages of multi-threading. It reduces the computation time. It improves performance of an application. That's why it does not block the user because threads are independent and you can perform multiple operations at the same time. You can perform many operations together, so it saves time. Threads are independent, so it does not affect other threads if an exception occurs in a single thread. We can execute multiple tasks for an application at a time. It reduces the complexity of a big application. Context switch between threads is usually less costly than the between process. Cost of communication between threads is comparatively low. These are the advantages of multi-threading. Then we go for life cycle of a thread. A thread is a single sequential flow of execution, which means it separates the path of execution. The thread class defines several methods, and also thread moves through several states from its creation to its termination. The life cycle of a thread consists of 5 states. They are the newborn state, running state, runnable state, blocked state, and dead state. This diagram represents the life cycle of a thread. Newborn state. A thread is said to be in the newborn state when we create an object of the class thread. Second one, runnable state. The thread is ready for execution and wait for the processor to be available. All the threads in an execution queue have equal priority. The thread comes to this state when its start method is called. Third one, running state. The thread comes to this state when it started its execution. A thread enters this stage whenever its run method is called. Fourth one, blocked state. A thread comes to this state when it is made to stop its execution. The thread comes to this state when it stops its execution or wait method is called. A thread will be in blocked state when it is trying to acquire a lock, but currently the lock is acquired by the other thread. The thread will be moved from the blocked state to runnable state when it acquires the lock. Then finally, dead state. The thread comes to this state when it completes its execution, because it executes normally. This happens when the code of the thread has been entirely executed by the program. Thank you.